Okay, in this part of our math review video, we're going to go over factors and greatest common factor. Remember, a factor, what does factor mean? Factor means the numbers that can divide in evenly to a larger number. Or you might be more familiar with thinking, what numbers can I multiply together to get that other number? So in the case of 30, we're asking ourselves, what times what equals 30? What times what is 30? And I taught you to do something called a factor rainbow, which is basically, well, start with the easy one. You know that 1 times 30 is 30. So there are two factors right there, 1 and 30. If we use our divisibility rules, is 30 an even number? It is, which means that 2 is going to go in. And we're going to do our connection because we always know that the number has to connect. 2 times what is 30? We know that 2 times 15 is 30. What about 3? Does 3 times something equal 30? It sure does. 3 times 10 equals 30. And there are a couple more. 5 times 6. And we'll connect those. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different factors of the number 30. So that's how you find factors. Then we talked about greatest common factor. The greatest common factor means if I have two numbers like 28 and 35, what is the greatest common factor? What's the biggest number in both of those rows, both of those numbers? What is the biggest number that will go into both of those numbers? So how do you do that? Well, you're just going to make a factor rainbow of both numbers. So for example, we'll start off with the easy one, like we did up top. 1 times 28. Is it an even number? It is. So we know it's going to be 2 times what? 2 times what is 28? 14. What about 3? Does 3 go into 28? Nope, but 4 does. 4 times what? 4 times 7 equals 28. So there are the factors of 28. 1, 2, 4, 7, 14, and 28. What about 35? 1 times 35, and I'm going to do my little rainbows underneath so I have room. 1 times 35, and 5 times 7. Not very many factors of 35. So now we want to know, what is the GCF? What is the greatest common factor? What is the biggest number in both of these rows? Well, 1 is in both rows, so 1 is a common factor, but it's not the biggest number. The biggest number in both of these rows, you can see, is 7. So the GCF of 28 and 35 is 7. That is it for factors and greatest common factors.